Hi, this is our Daily Tarot. I've had a while to sit with the cards today because I was actually recording this a couple of hours ago and my phone overheated because it was being hit directly by the sun. So I've just repositioned myself a little bit so I'm not in the intense heat of the day because I had to wait for my phone to cool down. We're sitting with some interesting energies right now. The opening card that we have is the Six of Swords. The challenge that we have that came in for today is the Hierophant. The way that we're going to get through the challenge is the Ace of Swords, and the overall outcome is the High Priestess. So we're dealing with the realm of the mind by way of the Suit of Swords, and this opening card shows this shift of energy from an energetic of turbulence to an energetic of stillness. And so swords are in the realm of the mind. It's also the realm of communication and exchange. It's the element of air. So having 6 different swords in our boat, so to speak, is like having a lot of active energy spent up in our mind with the impressions that we're looking over and that we're weighing and that we're considering, and it creates a lot of turbulence, right? Just like if you're sitting out in a meadow and the air is very still versus having a slight breeze versus having a very strong, intense wind that you have to brace yourself against. That would be the comparison of an Ace of Swords compared to the buildup of, say, a 5 of Swords, 6 of Swords, 7 of Swords, lots of air, lots of intensity. And so when the mind gets that quality, it can get really turbulent, right? And it has a way of affecting our emotional body. So it can make us depressed and bring us down and bring us in all sorts of different directions. But we're moving away from that energy. We're moving toward a place of stillness. And we can see that because we have the Ace of Swords that's showing up in the reading. So let's talk about the challenge that arrived for the day. It is the Hierophant. Now, this major arcana is showing up because we have some kind of life lesson that we need to look at or examine and work with. The Hierophant is a card that is governed by the sign of Taurus. We have some interesting energies going on in Taurus right now, particularly Uranus and Venus, which is in conjunction or near degree to the exact position of Uranus by way of zodiac sign and degree. Now, we've been experiencing a lot of changes and a lot of shifts in areas that may have been really stable in our lives over the last couple of years. And that's because Uranus has moved into the sign of Taurus. Taurus is a fixed earth sign, so it's really stable. Tauruses are known for being kind of stubborn when it comes to things because of that fixed earth energy that's based in having really strong values and being unwilling to move or shift from that. Now, if we've had that place of stability and Uranus as a planet comes into the room, Uranus brings up unexpected changes to conditions that are actually getting in the way of our progress. So consider someone might be really stubborn about not wanting to shift an area in their life, and in the last couple of years they've possibly had to shift in some area of their life just by the circumstances that we've all been in, which has posed a challenge to many of us in a lot of new ways. And yet it's also calling us to task by way of what we want to rebuild and what we want to, really anchor ourselves in as far as what is all this stirring up within us and what opportunities are coming about that are only possible because of these shifts and these changes that have happened over the last couple of years. The Hierophant is also speaking to social order. And so it's interesting in that respect. There may be some things that are going on in our environment that are posing some kind of challenge in our lives. But what's interesting about this is that we see this energy of someone sharing information with these 2 people that are in front of them. So it's as if this is stirring up some need to exchange and some need of learning either from yourself to someone else or from someone else to you. Taurus as a sign also governs the anatomy of the throat. And so we may be finding that we need to really speak our truth rather than, continuously tying a knot on our throat energetically. It's up to us to speak up for that which we believe in and that which we feel like needs to be honored. And it's quite telling that we have this Ace of Swords show up as the way that we're going to get through the challenge, because we're coming to this place of clarity through all of these situations that have been turning over and changing in our lives. There's something that's starting to reveal itself. And I think it's really interesting that Venus is now in the room with Uranus in that area of the sky, because Venus governs Taurus, right? And so Venus is bringing this energy of compassion and tenderness and almost like bringing you something to the surface that wouldn't have been possible if this change hadn't all occurred. So there's something coming into the room that's of a different quality and a different understanding. And consider that Venus is also this, as I said, nurturing, kind of mothering energy. So it's like, what has been born through all of this, which is giving this energetic of clarity to where the mind has been whipping itself around. Because the Ace of Swords is how we cut through illusions. It's how we cut through the unknown and through fear. Because when we have a single sword, it's like having a very clear idea and very clear communication. And so perhaps that's coming into focus as well, particularly considering that Gemini just moved, or Mercury just moved into Gemini over the last couple of days. And Mercury, which is the planet of communication, moving into the sign of communication, can be in some kind of resonance with all of this as well. So where do we feel called to exchange, and what can we bring to the table by way of exchange? It's quite likely that there are a lot of us that have something to share and something that we need to speak up for based on what we're seeing. The ultimate outcome that we have for today is the High Priestess. So we have another major arcana in the cards for today, another life lesson that we're looking at. And this is an energetic of listening to our intuition, seeing beyond the black and white of things and standing in between. And she's sitting quite still because it's a reminder that there's more information that's coming in. And considering that we had a full moon yesterday, which means that the moon was at 180 degrees of the sun, it allows for a bigger range of perspective and things being revealed that we were perhaps in the dark around seeing so clearly. So I think overall we have some really powerful cards for today, and it's speaking to, quite poetically, the energies of Uranus and Venus coming into this same place in the sky, because I think we are in a place of learning and understanding. It only does so much for us if we're like, oh, all of these things changed, and we shake our fist at the sky. It's another thing to consider what all of this changes for and what it can bring about and how we can rebuild and where we feel called to step in and stand up, because it's important that we do that. I hope you all had a beautiful full moon yesterday, and I hope you are having a beautiful day today. I will see you again soon. Bye for now.